Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sagana Bhavatu Sagana Punaktu Sagaviryan Karavabhai Tejasvinavadidamastuma Vitvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvadaya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Namaskaram. Thank you so much, Balaji, for that recap. Yes, it was an interesting week in Chennai. I really missed all the satsangis here, but maybe we will have one session in London for the launch of the book. It is not that I want to claim that I written the book, but it is to reach people, because Adi Shankara is Parameshwara himself, who has imparted and tried to instill the true import of Vedas. Like Dharma Samsthabhanarthaya Sambhavami Yuke, as in the form of Krishna, the Parameshwara came to establish Dharma. Dharma is also Jnana. Though we say Dharma, Jnana as a two different wheels of the motion, that most Dharma is Jnana, that most Jnanam is Dharma. Dharma without the expression of Jnana Vicharam is futile. Holding of Jnana without the Dharma Bhavam is futile. So that's how I think Adi Shankara came, and then he instilled, removed all the differences, because the differences can be removed. People can be aligned. The word religion means to be one. Religion means that something is not aligned, you bring them to alignment. The word religion is therefore to align the human beings towards the better goal. So the alignment is a process that religions do with the weapon or with the means of dharma. But aligned for what? Aligned to go towards what? That requires jnana. So religion provides the synthesis to bring you towards the path of perfection, self-perfection. But the know-how of the self-perfection and the belief that is the right path, that requires jnanam. That means one have to understand the very purpose of existence. That is the Vedantam. So that's why Adi Shankara came to rekindle this Vedanta. So all other words, Bhakti, Shraddha, Viveka, Vairagyam, Mukti, all that is just what is say, a celebrative tokens to gain your attention. Because ultimately there is no mukti, there is no freedom, because mukti is for only those who are imprisoned. Freedom is for those who are slaves. But when you have the absolute knowledge about yourself, that you are eternally free, eternally existing, Sat Chit Ananda Rupam, then where is mukti? So all this passage of text that we study as if you are going to attain something in the future goes vanish in one stroke. So it is not a lie, but it is a process of self-learning to know, to realize that you are eternally free. So if we understand, this is not a complex one, because people should not think this has to wait until I finish all my karmas, all my bhakti, yoga, shraddha, all the anushthanas. Yeah, you have to do all those things. But you don't do all these things, therefore you gain this knowledge. That is a process. You do all these things because you gain this knowledge. There's a difference. So the earlier you know the truth about yourself, I keep saying yourself, 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 because that's the best you could do. Because there are only three things that exist that we need to know. What are these? Obviously, the whole world in front of me. Everything I need to know about you as an individual, about your family, about your job, about this world, about this process. There are infinite number of things that I need to know, and I put everything into the basket called Jagat, the world. Anything other than me, I need to know. That gives me the means to live, is it not? If I don't learn, we call it education. What is education? Is knowledge of something, knowledge of agriculture, knowledge of architecture, knowledge of computing. So you learn the skills, you learn about this world so that you can lead a life of embodied nature. Clear? Is there a compromise? No. Is there any other means? No. Can I just pray to God and get all these things done? No. You have to do what you have to do. So that is the baseline. So Vedas are not interested in it. They tell you you have to do it in a certain way, but you study the world, whatever you want to do. So Jagat is what I need to study. Then what else is there? The Ishvara. If there is a Jagat, if there is a creation, there's a creator. Logic, right? So I must study the Ishvara. Who is this Ishvara? Why is he making me suffer in this world? Why I have to worship him? Where is he based? What is this form? So all this kind of childlike question that comes to you, religions come running to you and give their own version of it. And then if you're interested, which you should, you learn about God. So, world I need to learn, the God I need to learn. World is the most predominant one. That's why it's called Purushartha in the first part. Artha Kama. I do that. Then Dharma comes in righteous way. Then I think about the God. I go from pillar to pole to find out who the real God is. Now, this takes many life forms to do. But what is missing in this too is me. Why should I learn about myself? Veda says, if you do not know who you really are, this learning of God, the learning of the world is incomplete because it is called samsara. To be honest with you, it is samsara. Samsara is, when I worship God, I am always studying God. You are still in samsara. Maybe a glorified samsara, yeah, very pious samsara. What is samsara means? Born in this world, they say. No, that's not a very clear definition of samsara. Coming into this world in a bodily existence, is it samsara? Then all the avatars also come into this world with a bodily existence. If the whole world is created by the God, why am I have to shy away from this taking a form? Like, like if you go home and your loving mother or wife or husband, depending on the house, cooks and receives you with the food that he made or she made, and you ignore it. That's an insult to her. Same way, if you just totally wipe off this world as it is nothing to do with me, samsara is not, then it is not reverence to the God who created it. So it is per se being born. Piravi Perangadal Ninduvar Nindar, Valduvar says. So if you're born in this world, that's not the interpretation of it. But you are born in this world because you have no idea why you are born in the world. Nobody asked you to choose this mother and father. Nobody asked you to be born in this form, in this shape, living in this country. It just, something just takes you away. That is samsara. If I don't have the power, but I am being embroidered in many things, I am in samsara. So it's all about control, but it's all about freedom. Because if I am imposed into this janma, maybe a millionaire's family or maybe a impoverished home, it doesn't matter. But if I am getting involved into that, and therefore I suffer from this, then I have no control, I have no freedom, I am therefore in samsara. So, what is the other way? If I am in this world, I have absolutely control, I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm here, I know what it is, then it is not samsara. Bring it on. That's why then the life, the world becomes a happy place. It becomes a leela. It's a play. So we say it's all Bhagavad Kripa and say Bhagavad Leela. Ambal is doing all this Srishti, Sthiti, and she is the one doing all this. She is the one putting me in this dukkha. So I blame her. No. If you know she is making a play and you are part of the play, play. But if you play with the freedom, you require the jnanam that why this play is not binding you. So only to reveal this. It is not, all the Vedanta is not to take you away from this world and take it. No, that is not the idea. The idea is to make you live in this world freely. Abhayam. Absolutely no comments. I know I'm digressing, but this is very getting context for the last Adhyaya of Kathopanaishad. In the Kathopanishad is in the core of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, enough to read Bhagavad Gita because it covers everything else. But if you are lucky enough to do vicharam and learn Upanishad, especially Kathopanishad, and then you will see Bhagavan compassionately takes Kathopanishad mantra, sometimes verbatim, and expands on it. So that's why he's called Jagat Guru. And this is the beauty of it. All the knowledge, whoever says it, it is not their knowledge. If I say something to you, it is not something I have created. No way, nobody can create it. Drishyam, it is there, it's already there. You only have the capacity sometime by God's grace to articulate that. It is like, scratching the surface to bring out the treasure in you, right? Or when you scratch the surface, it's what? It is removing the coverage, removing the filth, removing the blemish. So ajnana nivritti is jnana prapti. Any knowledge you get is transient. You get a knowledge of an object. I don't know Machine learning. So I go to the school, learn machine learning, coding. I come back, I have the knowledge about machine learning or physics, anything. Some other knowledge will override this. But Vedanta Jnanam, Atma Jnanam, Atma Jnana Prapti is simply the resultant of Ajnana Nivritti. Like removing the darkness, the light comes in. Removing the dirt, purity comes in. I say comes in because language is very poor. Purity exists. You realize the purity. So your jnanam, so now you see jnanam doesn't anymore a means. Jnanam becomes your swarupam. How is jnanam is, it cannot be put into a gender. It's a concept, isn't it? Jnanam is a concept, right? Knowledge is a concept, right? Knowledge of something. Knowledge is a concept, right? Now, if I say, when the ajnanam is removed, where ignorance is removed by the means of knowledge, then in you what remains? I say jnana. No, you must say no. What remains is my purity. Because impurity is the ajnana that is removed. If it is removed, then what remains should be my purity. But Vedanta says, no, if you say my purity, then you are different from the purity. You are purity yourself. Purity remains. Not my purity remains. My is gone. Purity remains. The purity isn't it a concept? Yes, it is a concept. That means, am I just a concept? Don't use the word just in that sense, but it's a just concept. Yes, you are a concept. Everything is a concept. If everything is a concept, that concept of purity is one that is Ishvara, that is Brahman. Therefore, if I go back to my knowledge vector, that I go one direction knowing the world, Jagat, one direction knowing the God, the Ishvara, and one direction knowing myself, the result of this study, the Atmajnanam, is summarized by Bhagavan's phrase, which is essence of all the Vedas, all the knowledge, that is Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahma Naparaha. Brahma Satyam, the Brahman or the Atma is Satyam. Satyam means it's eternal. Eternal means it transfers all the transient nature of this world, time and space and guna vishesham. It is the eternal pure consciousness, like me, like my pure nature. So, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, all this world I see, Bhagavan uses the phrase Mithya, like Satya. See, words are just a paribhasha, right? It's just to express a knowledge. Language is also limited. Language is the most profound tool to express knowledge, express emotions, right? The more perfect the language coding structure is, syntax is, more eloquence that you get because it lends you to blend your emotions and the intellect and put words, coinage words, which reaches the others. But then people claim, okay, Sanskrit is one of the perfect language. So is Tamil. So is many things. They will say, you can claim your own mother tongue. But even then, you will stop because it is not able to express. How can you express your love to your child? Words stop. So what do you do then? You express through Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is not able to give you that. Use a Kriya Shakti. You give gifts. You embrace her. See. So language is also limited. So all these words, mithya is a word that Bhagavan coins to say it is like satyam, but it is not satyam. Because it gives you kind of permanence. No, we say, no, I will be gone in a few years, but my tree at the garden is going to live forever. Will it? No. But for you, it is relatively real. The relative reality is mithya. The world is mithya, relative reality. So I got the study of three vectors. I got two very clear conclusions: Brahman Satyam, Jagat Mithya. One is eternally there, other one is eternally not there. So I can choose which way I want to go. Then it says about me, myself. Jivo Ishvara or Jivo Brahma Na Paraha. You are not different from not the Jagat, Brahman. So you are not a separate vector. But if you understand yourself clearly, you are Parabrahman yourself. It's a very frightening conclusion to accept, but that is Advaita. But it is not in quarrel with anything else because that is the ultimate. That's a superlative, say, flattery that one can give. No other religion, no other philosophy, no other doctrine can tell you that you are the pure embodied. You are the purity embodied. You are the eternal effulgence embodied. Religions chooses the word like you are a sinner, therefore do good things. You are ajnani, so on. All this is right when you look at you as an embodied being. So you need those religions to strike you at your heart and make you reorient towards a life that is proper, that takes you towards the goal. But the truth is, you are not a sinner. The sinful action is happening through your embodiment because your Sukshma Sarira, your mind, body, intellect complex is out of control. So many reasons for it. Okay? So, what I have just now alluded to is what in Kathopanaishad, Yamadharmaraja in the last Valli labored to tell Nachiketas that Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, Etat Vaitat. That is you, that Atma, that Parabrahman is you. That is the knowledge that you are looking for. That's what you need. So now in the last Valli, third Valli, so in some books they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters, but actually it is 2 adhyayas. In each adhyaya, 3 vallis. We finish first adhyaya, 3 vallis. The second adhyaya, we finish 2 vallis. Two sections we finish. Now we do the third one. Now what is this one going to go? Let's see. So here, this whole chapter, this whole section is to give you more reinforced idea about your true self is nothing but Ishvara. It's natural you ask a question. Why keep on repeating the same thing again and again? Okay, I understand intellectually, but why you keep repeating it? Because there is no other way to express the truth because all languages fail. Even the words of Vedas are trembling to show you the Brahman, the real nature in you, because the words are limiting. The anupudi has to come. So what a good teacher does normally, they take a concept, they tell you what it means. You don't understand, he give you an example, you understand it. The fellow next to you doesn't understand, he gave another example, explains it. So he brings different metaphors, analogies, pathways to present the fact to you so that you can understand it well. That is the compassionate nature of the teacher. And you can see very evidently in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you need to say is said in 10 slokas in chapter 2, but nobody can understand it. So he repeats it. So don't get bored. Don't get, it is not a pranaradi dosham. It is not a mistake that Vedas and Shastras repeat the same truth again, because it is to reinforce. The nishta has to be there. Knowledge also, when it's an object, it's a mithyatvam, it will go away, to reinforce that. So in this chapter, what he's going to do, he's going to make another kalpana, vrisha kalpana. Let's see the mantra first. Urtumulo avakshaga eshosvatta sanadanaha tadeva shukram tadbrahmam tadevam tadevamrita muchyate tasmin loka shita sarve tadunatyedi kaschana etat vaitat. Urdhumulo avakshaka esho asvatta sanatanaha tadeva shukram tad brahmam tadeva amridam uchyate tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve tat u natyedi kaschana etat vaitat. The etat vaitat has come back again. It is the Mahavakya. That is what? Aikya Vakya. So here, I mean, this mantra sounds very familiar to you if you have gone through Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan also starts the same way in chapter 15. See, if you're wearing a shirt, if you ask you how is a shirt is made, and you will say, oh, it's a cotton fiber. Oh, what's the cotton fiber made? From the pure cotton. Where is the cotton made? Oh, it comes from the cotton seed, cotton plant. How does the cotton plant comes? The cotton seed. So it is as good as saying the shirt is made from the seed. It looks ridiculous. The seed is small little stuff, and how can it make the shirt? But the elaboration, the explosion of the seeds, effective manifestation in different forms made the shirt possible. But the root of this thing is the seed. Therefore, you'll confirm from the understanding of the root cause study, sthula avatarani, moola avatarana. By avatarana means confirmation. You confirm the root cause by analyzing the effective. So cause is understood by analyzing the effect. So here, this mantra, he by giving a vrisha kalpana. A vrisha means tree. Giving a tree kalpana, he is giving you an opportunity to analyze the effect. What is the effect? The effect is what you see. The world is an effect. And he's going to say, by studying the effect of the Ishvara, you can actually understand the root of it. So let's look at the meaning of the phrases, and then we dwell into this. So, urdhva mulaha avakshaha eshaha ashvataha sanatanaha. Okay. Urdhva mulaha. Okay, if we take it like this. Eshaha, this. Ashvataha sanatanaha. Sanatanaha means which is eternally existing. Ashvataha, Ashwat is a vrisham. It's a people tree or a banyan tree, a fig tree, sacred fig tree, they call it. Yeshaka Sanadanaha Ashwataha, this perpetuating tree. What about this tree? Urdu Mulaha, Abakshagaha. Urdu Mulaha means, Urdhva means up. Moolam means the root. Urtva Mulaga, that means it has got this root upwards. Abakshagaha. Urdhva means up, Abaksha means down. The branches of the tree are down. So what is he talking about? Is he talking about a tree, a funny tree where the roots are upwards and the tree is downwards, hanging upside down? Yes, he's giving a kalpana, Prisha kalpana. What about the tree? That tree is perpetuate, always there. That moolam, the urtva moolam, what is up there? See, in all this thing, for the kalpana, they say upside tree. But actually, what we should take, urdhvam means superior. So it is a superior root. Okay, superior always we say you look up, right? That's why. That's why it is upside. So you no harm in imagining a tree upside down. But what it means is the root is superior than the branch. Always the cause is greater than the effect. The effect is perpetuating in different directions. By going like this, it may get, the reverence may go down, but the root is always very pure. Tat eva shukram. That alone is shukram. Shukram means unblemished, pure. The root is pure. Tad Brahman. That is the Brahman. That is the Ishvara. Tadeva Amrudam Uchyate. Tat eva, that alone, Amrudam. That alone is deathless, immortal, Satyam. Uchyate. Uchyate means Veda says that's the ultimate assertion. Okay, now we talked about the root. What about all those branches that are down there? Tasmin, that means that root, taking the root, Sarve lokaha sritaha. Sarve lokaha means all the worlds. Sritaha. Sridham means dependence. Only on the root, all the worlds which are depicted as the branches and the leaves and the flowers and the fruits and everything that is there in the tree, Sridaha, they depend on it. So nothing that we don't know. We all know that everything depends on the God. But see the poetry here and see, of course, Shankara Bhashyam, we are not going to take into detailed way, but Shankara goes even further. And to explain this, I think he makes much more poetic reading. He says, That Brahman, Ishvara, is Sashvatam. But for our understanding, we can call it the Parabrahman has got an Aparabrahman aspect. Parabrahman means, para means supreme. Aparabrahman means that which is coming out of that as Shaguna Brahman. Or you can take it like this. Nirguna Brahman and Shaguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahma means that which is inexplicable, it is everything. But it says in negative way. Vedas always tell the truth in negative way. Nirgunam. Of course, there is a kind of a debate in the Vedantic schools post Shankara. For example, Vasishtadvaitam or Advaitam, they don't accept Ishvara as Nirguna Brahma. They call them as a Sharva Kalyana Guna Brahma. That's fine, because you want to look at it. See, why should I look at, if Vedanta says, Advaita Vedanta says, God has no guna. What is guna? Guna is that makes you who you are. The finest fiber, which is classified into three parts, sattva, tama. Now you have to listen to this very carefully, because I'm throwing a lot of concepts, but they all form a unique understanding of it. The fabric, the building block of all embodied living, all this creation is guna. Guna is an aspect. Don't we normally think guna means the character, right? It's only an expression of the underlying trait. Guna is not a character. Guna is the cause of the character. If somebody is bad, ketta guna, we say, is the effect of ketta guna. So guna is the thing that makes you who you are. So every creation is therefore made up of the gunas. The gunas, for the convenience sake, put into three baskets: sattva, raja, tamo gunas. They are in a balanced state. The dominance of one expresses a different traits in you. It's like, don't ask why this is God created like this. God is a creator, He's a painter. You cannot ask an artist, why are you using blue and red this way? He throws all the colors, and then you create a picture. Our understanding should be to know the root of these colors and then manipulate the colors so that the colors that you want to be is predominant. For example, sattva gunas in certain aspect. So if the gunas, if it is belong to the Ishvara, he is a Saguna Brahman. Correct? So why should I now look at Ishvara as an evil person? Because evilness is the cause of a guna. It's also a guna. So if Ishvara is Sarva guna tattva, then all the bad qualities also goes to Ishvara. Ishvara doesn't care, right? But we are afraid. Therefore we said, no. I would define Ishvara as a Sarva Kalyana Rupa. Kalyana Rupa, Narayana. That is perfectly fine, because you become what you worship. Therefore, I like to worship God as purity, as the Kalyana Gunaha. Therefore, I get the same Kalyana Gunaha. Perfectly fine. It's the right thing to do. But if I define God as that, then God is separated from the evilness of this world. Who created the evilness then? What do you call it evil? So it becomes divisive that you have to have a God and the evil, the two perpetual forces, they always compete. All the Abrahamic religions come through. So you give a status of existence of evilness away from the God. If something away from God exists, then God is not omniscient, omnipowerful, omnipotent. God is not all powerful. If there is something exists along with God, before God or after God, independent of God, then God is not what I care for because He is not powerful enough. So that is the kind of a issue. How do I then see God? Can I see God also having bad qualities? So if you have a Sarvaguna Karta, then you must have all the bad qualities. That's why Advaitam comes to you to rescue. No, God is Gunatitam. He transcends all the gunas. He has no right or wrong. He has no good or bad. He has no evil or thing there. There's no happiness or that. He is perpetually blissful. Therefore, there is perfectly fine to worship the Nirguna Brahman. By being Nirguna Brahman, you also transcend the gunas. So you are able to accept the guna Vedas, the Veda. See, Vedantam is also Vedantam, where the differences end. Differences always exist, right? Why do you need a holy text like Vedas to say, hey, everything in the world different? Said, get away. I know it. I can see it. So Dvaitam is not what Vedas try to teach you. In the Dvaitam that you have to live, you can see the Vishishta Dvaitam, where there's very special oneness with the God. And when you transcend that, you will see the Paripurna Dvaitam, that you are none other than the God. So all these great Mahatmas like Madhvacharya, Sri Ramanuja, Shankaradeshka, all those great Mahans, what they have done is they've given you the ladder, a step. When you climb the ladder, the first step you climb is comfortable, I'm safe. Then if you want to go to the next step, you need to give up. If you just hold on to that because it's giving comfort, then you are not progressing. So this is the problem with all these followers of certain religion, which don't have the Vedantic truth as a propelling agent for the progress. They get stagnated, maybe reverentially. No, for me, everyday worshipping puja is fine. Oh, fine. Be there. I want to be a Nitya Suri. Be there. I want to be at the feet of the God. Be there. But as long as you are outside of God, as long as you are separate from the God, Sayujyam, the real Sayujyam doesn't happen. You cannot be even a branch of God. You had to be God. That's the only time you become Abhayam. Right? So here, in this example, Vrishakalpam, what he is doing is, Kalpana, why I am not knowing this? Because you are in the tree which is very lowest end. On the tree, on one of the branches, you are sitting there as a little bird eating a fruit. Maybe after eating, you get some energy. You may explore the tree. You can jump to another leaf, another branch. You may jump to another branch. You wander around this tree, but you don't know why you are doing this. Where is the root of the tree? Bhagavan says in his Bhashyam, the creation of this tree is called samsara. Remember samsara, not just being born without your control, without your influence, without your ability to lead a performance of life. But for this, the world is a cause. So that is created by avidya, kama, karma, avyakta. Vyaktam means four terms are used. Vyakta means what you see. What you're seeing come from the avyaktam. A child is born from the mother's womb. It's a darkness. We don't know. It comes out. Like that, it's something which is unknown, unmanifest. With seed of the tree, a tree comes out. So the tree is avyaktam in the vyaktam of the seed. Seed is manifested. You can see the seed. Can you see a tree in the seed? No. The tree is avyaktam. So the vyakta avyaktam is there. That is caused by the kama karma. So by your karmas, the seed is created. What kind of karma? Kama karma, kamya karma. With a desire, what you do. What is a desire for God to do it? That's the Ichcha Shakti. We cannot question that. The Ichcha Shakti, the Ambal wanted to say, yeah, let me play. Then the whole world created. Trimurtis formed. Indras came. Devadas came. All these atoms formed. The whole world created. Sthiti, samharam happens all the time. She's watching. She's enjoying it. Ichcha Shakti, a desire. So there's a desire created the kama karma. Why she created this? Avidya. Can you say Ambal ka Vidya? Yes. Ambal is both Vidya Vidya Rupini. In Sahasranama we say Vidya Avidya Rupini. Ambal is both Shri Vidya, also Avidya. She is also the cause and effect of it. So with her avidya, that means avidya means what? Avidya is not knowing. It could be viparita jnanam, ignorance as well as viparita jnanam. If you just imagine this is a creation by Ambal, say, the Ambal creates this world of creatures and play with this. Why? Because maybe it gives her fun, blissfulness. But when Ambal turns towards Brahman, then the bliss is completely fulfilled. Paripurnatvam is there. So this Lalita, one who does the Leela on this world with creation, by his Ichcha Shakti, by doing that what she is doing a penance. Like you and I doing, she is also doing a penance. You and I do penance of going to temple, doing archanas and all that. She is doing by creating this world and sustaining it on behalf of the Parameshwara. But then when she turns back to Brahman, the Lalita Parameshwari become Lalita Ishvara Aikyam. In Lalita Sahasranam, final words, all this Ambal is doing Aikyam with the Ishvara, with the Brahman. Her penance is finished when she becomes one with this. Gunatitam comes in. So if Sakshat Ishwari has to go through this process, we as an embodiment created by her have no choice but to go through. Shankara Bhashyam alludes to this. So he says, the bijam is therefore avidya kamakarma avyaktam. That is a bijam. Now you understand this. Ishvaraha, from Ishvaraha, the avidya kamakarma, all this is just to take you to next step, okay? Don't just hold on to it. Just understand it, because we will negate all the things someday. Okay, we will say no srishti, okay? But right now, avidya kamakarma avyaktam is a seed. From there, you have, that's the Ichha Shakti. But the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti comes as a Hiranyagarbha. The Hiranyagarbha is the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, Brahma, Lord Brahma. She creates this world. Very important insight. I mean, Brahma Deva has no control whether to create or not. Because Isha is not his Ichha. It's Isha. Ishwar is Ichha. The Ichha Shakti is powerful. See, now, Radha the word in the Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. Ichha means desire, Jnana means knowledge, Kriya means the resources to create. So in our life, what we do, we go and do something first without thinking. Then from the experience, we gain the knowledge. The next time we say, okay, I will not do this way. We change our desire. Or if you are educated, you first go and learn about something. Jnana Shakti comes first. Then you do, execute it. But Ichha, the willpower, the will to know, the will to create is Ichha Shakti. So when Ichha Shakti is there, that's why when, hey, how come you decide to do this when somebody asks you this? That decision is a key point. What you've done is consequence, subsidiary. Oh, he built a house, he won a Nobel Prize. That is the Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti has done it. But Ichha Shakti to do that, that is a blessing that you need. In life, you had to pray for that Ichha. Let me have the will to do, then the Jnana will come, Kriya Shakti will come. So here Shankara says, so the Avyaktam becomes a seed, then the Kriya Shakti and Ichha Shakti become the Hiranyagarbha. They come through that. So they are the sprout. The Trishna or the desires, the gunas, they irrigate this plant. So for the root, you have this Ichha Shakti as a root, then Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti becomes the what do you call it, the base. From that comes the sprout, irrigated by the gunas and trishnas, the desires. Then the stems comes out. The stems comes in all the embodiments. All the jivas becomes the stems. All the jagat becomes the stems. Then all the shastras, Shruti, Smriti, Puranam, Itikasam, Vyakarnam, Nyayam, everything becomes branches, leaves. Sukaduk comes as a rasam. Flowers comes in. Like that, the poetry that goes in to explain the whole creation as a tree. And the commotion in the tree, when you see the tree in the evening, when the birds go and try to settle down, they make lots of noise and then they slowly settle down. Like that, the tree of samsara has got lots of noise. Noise comes out of what? Harsha shogam, happiness and sadness. When you're happy, you say, hey, party, let's go and party. You make noise. Shogam, you say, oh my God, disaster. Ayo, something gone. So cry. So laughter and cry. All these noises happens here. And then this jiva, sariraka, who has the embodiment of body, just perpetuate in the tree. Here, there, there. He doesn't know where he goes. For him, this is the world. This is called a Veda Aranyam. Even Vedas are called a tree. Everything is there. That's why Vedas, why you need a Vedas to study Vedas, you need a guru, you need a tradition, you need to practice, because Vedas are Ishvaraha, Gunadhitaha. So it's got everything is there. Veda got mantrams to destroy somebody's life. How can, if you say in our technical term, limited technical term, holy book, how can a holy book has got mantram to destroy somebody? Our holiness all is very limited. It is the Aranyam, it is everything there. All existence or Leela for the Ishvara. So that's why when Ashuras can do an yajnam and they can produce demonic powers, Veda mantras. So why should I learn that mantra? If you want to be like that, if you want to play the game, if you want to be safe and you want to be reach God, do something else, or you want to live like a punyatma, do the punya karmas. So it's a Veda Aranyam, many shakas there, like this tree. So if you don't understand, if you have no knowledge, if you don't know dharma, you are in the darkness of the big tree. You get entrapped into the tree and you dwell in the darkness. In management, you use a phrase called mushroom management. Companies, unethical companies will treat the employees very badly, but employees don't even know that they are treated badly because they get bonuses, fat bonuses. It's like mushroom. Put them in the dark, feed them shit and watch them grow. Its growth is there, but like that. This is samsara. I'm making lots of money. I have lots of children. I have lots of property. Yeah. When I'm on the deathbed, I'm worried about it. Who is going to take my will? Who is going to take care of me? Oh my God. Then I die. I come back again. All the way. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. And Upanishad said, like a corn in the first chapter we saw, like a corn. Nachiketas tell his father, right? Men are born and decay like a corn, like a mushroom. I don't want to be that. And here he answers it. Well, then you understand samsara. What is a samsara? Samsara is like an inverted tree. So what do you mean understand samsara? It's a beautiful kalpana. So what do I make from this? It's a vrisha kalpana. Vriksham means tree. What is vriksham means? Vrashchananat vrikshaka. That you can cut is vriksham. Vrashchana means to slaughter, to cut asunder. Sanskrit, every word, in all great languages, every word got a meaning, why it is like this. Which can be cut, that's a tree. See, this is why, you don't need to really go on esoteric terms to learn all the big text. Even a simple mantras, slogas even, stotras, not even sastra, even stotras, there are little phrases will be there. Your idea is to stumble upon the phrase and catch it, you know. Vriksham. Why it's called vriksham? Because it can be cut. It can grow, but it can be cut. So what do I need to cut it? You need an axe to cut it. That axe is the Atma Darshanam. Jivo Ishvara Naparaha. Vedanta Jnanam. Shravanam, Mananam, Nivishyasanam. Guru Kripa. So when all these things comes sharpened as an axe to you, the samsara tree. We will see in the next class. Bhagavan says the same thing in the 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga. He says that. We'll see that. So you can cut. So that means I have to cut this tree. I am going to uproot the tree, right? We use the phrase uproot. A problem solving technique is uproot the problem. It means dissolve the problem. To dissolve the problem, what do you have to do? I have to look at the root cause of it. So somebody says, hey, this boiler is not working, I have a trouble, then you send a boiler engineer, try to fix the boiler, but somehow it is not fixing it. So you can labor the point to solve the problem, but then you can dissolve the problem. Say, okay, why is that equipment boiler in this place? Because you just heat the room. But is it inside the room? No, it is outside the room. So it is, the whole context is wrong. So you are fixing a wrong problem. So you see, so what you are doing is called a root cause analysis, right? So here the root cause analysis is to find what makes this tree grow. This tree, I don't want to live in this tree. I want to surpass this tree. So I uproot this tree. So what do? I can have many ways. I can branch up each branch I can go. These branches are Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Bhur, Bhuvasvara, all these Mahalokas. All these lokas are there. I can transcend punyas, go each layer, try to reach the root. It is infinite, keep on going. So this is called a krama mukti, you can say. I gradually go each step. But if you are impatient like me, then you say, hey, I am not going to go. I want to find the root. Let me know the root. Then you do the Vedanta Shravanam, and then you do the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. When the knowledge becomes sharper, the knowledge becomes reveal your true nature. When the momentary of glimpse of bliss comes in, you hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. More and more you hold on to it. Your perspective change. You look at things very differently. You see the game that is being played and you are part of the game player. Therefore, your job is to enjoy this life, not to worry, not to fret about it. That's what it is. And when you do that, then you are Tadeva Shukram, Tad Brahmam, Tadeva Amritam, Uchyate. You are becoming that Brahman. So we stop it here. So I haven't had time to really prepare, so I just give you a general context. The next week, I think it's 15 mantras. I would say maybe 4-5 classes we'll finish up this one. Om Sakana Bhavatu.
Sakana Bhavatu.
Sakana Punaktu.
Sakano Punaktu.
Sakaviryam Karabhavake.
Sakaviryam Karavavahe.
Tejasvinavadidamastu.
Tejasvinavadidamastu.
Ma Vidvishavahe.
Ma Vidvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti
Hari Om
Shanti.
Tassate.
Hari Om Tatsate.
Just
Thank you, Raja.
one point, and it is only for those who are interested. So in the Shankara Dikvijayam book release function, it's quite interesting because I gave the date on August 3rd without knowing, except knowing it's a Sunday. It happened to be an Adi Perukku. It also happened to be Anusha Nakshatram for Bhagavan. And the hall that the auditorium is called Abhinava Vidyadhyaya Swami Auditorium. The book is also written by Vidyadhyaya Swami. So it has all become very good, and great scholars spoke. But one Mahatma there was Dr. G. Suresh. He's a vice principal of Sanskrit College. He is also the head of Sagityam. So he was the last speaker. And today I send the video link. I'll send it to the thing as well. if you are interested to see. So his lecture is the last one. You can skip many. You can go to that as well. So he has, out of his own interest, he has taken, because he's a Sahityavadi, so he started saying that, that 10 minutes is not good enough for him to explain. So he organized the following week a session to just explain how he approached this book. I think the Zoom, I think it's a Veda Academy by Kalyanji and other people organized it. I only came to know the last minute. I joined as well. So he's also interested to teach every Sunday his view, not teach, to explain his thing. But அது வந்து in Tamil, so I had to say that. So if you're interested in, I'll send the link. It's I think he's planning every Sunday. So if you are interested, you can learn that one. Namaskaram. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you.